They say you rude. Yeah, boy, have a bad attitude. Yeah, watch it. Not be crazy. What we drinking? That is what the red cup is, big feet. Red cup. So watch your girl. Watch it. Watch your girl. It's always fucking them like you are. Come on. Not the real me chanting. Yeah, le, le, le. Watch your girl. Yeah, le, 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 le. Yeah, le, le, le. Sing the tune. Yeah, le, 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 le.
Good
Good evening.
evening. Oh, you're there. Oh, we're having technical issues, but go ahead, Navi. Do you want to speak?
I got camera issues, but you know how it is. Anyways, good evening. I go by the name of Novelist.
And I go by the name of Jewel.
And of course, welcome to another episode of Dissect while I get my camera fixed. But you can still hear my voice. Today we have two special guests in the building with us this evening. And our first guest of the evening, Jules, I guess I will leave that up to you to do the
Yeah,
introduction.
before we get into that, though, Navi, we just want to touch quickly on our last show. So, our last show was the Mother's Day special, and we had some giveaways for the viewers. So, if you're viewing today and you remember what the conversation went like last week, here are the questions for you. One of the questions is, can you name one piece of advice that one of the guests gave to a new mother? The other question is, um, what is one of the side hustles that one of the guests has? And the third question is, what country is Singing Janice doing her scholarship for, specifically for? And those are the questions. Without further ado, though, we have our special guest. We're going to start with Mr. Robert Small. Welcome to Dissect.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. After that intro, I want to be included in that intro, and I want to merge out of that circle with the Superman emblem on my chest. And
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
So we wanted you to actually talk about yourself, Mr.
Okay.
Small.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
it's paying tribute to the guests and everything. And
absolutely.
everything's correct. Half the time you go on an interview and people just say, "Yeah, it's Robert Small and this is Jewel." You put time into the intro and everything. But Novelist, man, you got to come with it. It's like John Cena or Hulk Hogan's music playing, and then the doors open and they're not there. They're getting sandwiches. Right? It was great to Jewel and everything, but I want to know what this Novelist guy after that intro. I want to see everybody, right?
Right.
So, yeah, but okay, we'll get on the interview now after my ad lib, right? So.
Thank you, Robert.
You are having a beautiful day, aren't you, sir?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I think he should have
tonight, right? So
nice.
You should have a dual career, a comedian / artist. What do you think?
Don't tell me that, because I'll actually do it, because I thought I'm damn funny, okay? Don't tell me anything otherwise. Right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, just as long as I'm not slapped when I go on stage, everything's fine. Right?
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Your background, probably where your parents were from, and how did you get into painting and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, actually, I was born. My parents were from Barbados,
Right.
St. Lucie to be particular, as a parish in Barbados, and so I was born here, though,
Mm.
and I think that my upbringing was similar to a lot of blacks, Caribbean people here in Canada. That
Right.
pretty much, well, our parents came here wanting a better life. Traveling from the Caribbean, whether it be Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, etc., with like $500 in their pocket and coming to Canada, not knowing that $500 would last like 2 months after they arrived.
Right.
So consequently, with that type of pressure, when I started growing up and I was drawing like Spider-Man, the Hulk, and I was thinking that I definitely run off to New York City to become a comic book artist. That's the last thing you tell your Caribbean parents, right? They're expecting you to become a doctor or a lawyer, and the last thing we want to hear
Yeah.
is that you want to go to New York City to draw Spider-Man fighting the Green Goblin, right? So that's really not going to work. Or just draw, period, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I kind of understood like where they were coming from, just because I'm 53 now, but when I was like 18, 20 and stuff like that, you couldn't make a career out of your artwork other than selling paintings, right? So the paintings I have behind me, I did them myself, but I can only sell that painting over there only to one person, and then I gotta make another painting. So it doesn't really make sense that way. So I pretty much got onto this poster by accident. And literally by accident. I actually, when my parents asked me what I want to become when I grow up, even though in my head I was thinking artist, in the back of my head I was thinking artist, but by the time the answer came out of my mouth, I said lawyer. Right?
Yeah.
I wonder why. Yeah. My father wasn't too, God rest his soul. He didn't enjoy hitting kids and stuff like that, right? But I think he would have bent his rule for that one, right? Helped out if I said artist after he left Barbados and traveled all this way for his second son to say that he wants to draw Spider-Man, right? So that wouldn't go over well.
Question for you.
But
So was your dad able to enjoy your art like once you did get into becoming an artist?
yeah, in like pure Bayesian fashion type of thing. They started getting into it when people started recognizing me on TV, right?
Right.
It started becoming a legitimate career because people looked up to me now, right?
Yeah.
I go, yeah, the artwork's the same, right? But needless to say, some of the most powerful lessons I got with respect to my art came through my dad, and specifically one. I did this one picture of Muhammad Ali, and he was like knocking down Uncle Sam, right? And I did this picture that's on my website of it, and he was totally against it because it said, Robert, don't show that picture to anybody because it has a black like Muhammad Ali knocking down this white man and everything. You won't get a job if you show it to anybody, etc., etc. Right? So I was saying, Dad, but that image is of Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam isn't supposed to represent a specific race, but if you view it as such, then the image itself is racist, right? But once again, in pure Caribbean fashion, that just went straight over his head, and he didn't care, right? He just kept adamantly saying, "Don't show it to anybody. Don't show it to anybody," right? But the big joke is that picture actually sold more than any of my other ones.
Yeah.
And people still look at it as one of the posters that they want to this very day, right? So really, that taught me a lesson to go with your gut sometimes, and also you might, just because your parents mean well for you, but that doesn't mean that they're more in tune with the artistic community or what people want. Yeah, so I went with it, and that's been something that I continually do until this very day. That I pretty much will go with what I think would be helpful for the Black community, their self-esteem, and through my art, it's a great venue to do it.
Thank you for that. It gives meaning to the saying, or the saying that a picture says 1,000 words, right? So without you saying what it really meant, it was able to have that impact on so many people and be like your bestseller almost. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of things to dissect in that picture, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and you know what? I think we also like what we can appreciate our Caribbean upbringing, but also realizing some of the limitations of it. And I also realized that my parents probably didn't think of it as a legitimate career because it was never viewed like that in the Caribbean, right? No, you respected the guys trying to sell his artwork on the street or in the fair and everything, but it was never seen as like a legitimate job, right? Like going somewhere 9 to 5 and working for someone, that seems like a legitimate job to them, right? So I knew that mentally that was an obstacle that I had to get them to appreciate that. No, you can have a legitimate job working for yourself, but also was a blockade with respecting myself, not to think that I have to have that. What I'm doing is not a legitimate job. If anything, it's more legitimate because I'm doing something that I actually enjoy and that I actually chose, right? So that's legitimate. Legitimate is when you go to a 9 to 5 job and you grit teeth and you can't stand being there, and 4:59, you're out of there, right? Like like you don't want to, you don't want to look at it as like the 21st century plantation, which some people do, right? So.
Okay. Thank you for that.
But I want to go back to the picture of Uncle Sam and Muhammad Ali. Well, Muhammad Ali knocking out Uncle Sam. Have you ever been like targeted for any of your paintings? Maybe for, I don't know, being, well, I guess everybody have their own perspective when they look at things, or for being too pro black, or someone like look at your stuff and just think, yeah, that's kind of racist or anything like that.
Well, it's interesting that you say pro-black, right? Because I've only been told that and the majority of black people have not said this to me. So just because I'm using this doesn't mean that, I'm told this every day. But the only time that I've been questioned about that whole pro-black stuff is by like other black people. It's only happened twice in 28 years. So it doesn't happen that often, right? And they always think that, I can remember 2 instances. One black guy said that, oh, like I look at your pictures and you seem to have an agenda, right? And I go, well, what agenda is that, right? And I know where he's going, right? But I want him to go there and say it, right?
Right.
So he goes, no, it just seems like you want to empower black people by any means necessary and stuff like that. And I go, yeah, like, is there something wrong with that? Like, if the million black people were doing even 10% of what I was doing in Toronto, like we'd be getting ahead in jumps, right? But when people ask me that about the whole pro-black stuff, I go, what's pro-black about? Then if you're looking at what I'm doing as pro-black, you question when you go into a school and you see all the principals white and their images are on the walls, is that pro-white? No, you think of that as normal, right? So when you mention like pro-black to me, no, what I do is just normal.
Right.
You thinking that it's something not normal is what's the problem, right? You not having images of black people in your own home is the problem. Because when you go to white people's home, you're damn right they have images of white people on the wall.
Of course.
When I walk out this condo, I'm going to see a white person on the wall immediately when I go to a store. Right? Why am I going into your house and I don't see no images of black people at all, other than your family, right? And you kind of have like a lot of gall to wonder about the self-esteem of black children when it's not being nurtured in your home, right? And it's a sad state of affairs when you're sending your Black youth to the school to learn about Black history, and you're not teaching it yourself
Right.
to them. Because guess what? If you teach Black history to them, you'll be teaching it your way,
Of
right?
course.
So the same teachers that you're sending your children to learn Black history from told them about slavery, but they never told them about the slave revolts that occurred in Africa, on
Mhm.
boats, in North America, in Canada. You know, so they left that deliberately out, and they only depict slavery as if the Africans just boarded the ship and willingly came here, and stuff like that. So that should be a lesson to us that if you allow the school system to teach your kids about history, even slavery,
Mhm.
they planted to make it seem like it was an unfortunate incident. Like, don't talk about it as if anyone's to blame. Yeah,
Right.
damn right, someone's to blame.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they just didn't get on that boat. And then there's also a lot of doing this poster is also battling a lot of misinformation, because people will say that, oh, the African kings sold those Africans into slavery to the
Mhm.
Europeans. True, right? But let's look at it like this: if the African kings and queens uh, fought wars with other nations. Those
Mhm.
nations lost. Rather than kill all of them en masse, they kept them. Some European comes to you and says, "Hey, Aquatu there that you can't stand that tried overthrowing you. I'll give you a pound of gold for Aquatu, and I'll take it off of your hands,
Right.
and I'm taking it to North America with me. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to turn that down? Say no. Yeah, I'll keep your
Keep
gold.
the problem.
I'll
Yeah.
keep Batu here, and I'll keep on feeding him for the rest of his life.
Right.
Right? So they sold it. So yes, they sold them, but they did not know that they were going to be basically farming Africans when they got to North America.
Right.
Right? They had
Robert.
no clue that occurred, because how would you know? The internet,
Yeah.
you know.
I
So
have a question for you, Robert.
okay, yeah,
You
right.
you obviously are very passionate about what you do,
Mhm.
and you almost can be come across as an advocate or an activist, I should say, an activist.
Yeah.
Have you ever envisioned yourself as being going into politics and talking about talking about the activism that you do and doing that type of activism work?
Yeah, I think that the word activist, and if we look at it, I think we all should be activists, and in the respect of being active,
Hmm.
right? And being active is doing a show like this where you're talking about the issues, where you're giving a venue for people. With regard to my own and if once again, if 10% of the Black community did what the two of you are doing, we start noticing changes and everything, because you allowing me this venue for myself to talk starts creating an atmosphere where it affects other Black people to do similar things,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But if you have all Black people like on TikTok, like like having eating contests online, right? That creates a certain mentality too,
Absolutely.
right?
Facts.
So you definitely need an onslaught of people with a certain activist
Mhm.
mentality, that they want to be active in encouraging Black people to be powerful,
Right.
right? And that's my objective, and that's what I'm active about, right? With respect to any political aspirations, right? That's possible, right? But
You
but
never thought about that one, huh?
sorry.
Have you thought about that one before?
I'd have to think about that, right? Because
Yeah,
the ill-minded people in our community.
absolutely. Yep, yep.
Exactly, and then it's not so much that it's like, but in addition to that, like that's the personal side of it. But the reality of it is that, like, when I make a poster, like, I decide who the 4 people are who are going to be on it. I already have for next year, and no one can come back and tell me, don't put that person on, don't put that person on it. Like, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Who cares, right? Like, I'll get someone else to buy it. You can be replaced if you don't like it, right?
Yeah.
But if I feel that they should be on it, if I wanted to put Jewel on it next year, bam, you're on, right? Yeah, when your boy puts on his Superman cape in the intro, I'll put him on it too. But I'll hate you how you appear with the Superman and stuff like that, right? I don't think it would go over too well with some parts of the community, but hey, I'll get a good laugh out of it. Right? Yeah. So you see the next poster for next year, and you see this brother with a beard in the corner. You know that I took it to another level and everything, right? But I think that we, as a community, that we should really evaluate how we view power. Power is in politics, but also power is found within the artistic community and how you channel it, right? Also, with respect to myself, like I printed 5,000 posters this year, and 5,000 posters went out this year, 5,000 different places and in schools and everything. And that is an empowering thing for Black youth to see, when they see not only that poster, but they see 30 of my posters up on the wall. When I was going to school here in Toronto, I didn't really see many empowering images of black people. So the first time I really knew about anybody was Martin Luther King, obviously, and Malcolm X. And I thought Malcolm X was a superhero because his name sounded like one, right? So it was only when I got to university that I really started learning about the contribution of Black people, and specifically reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. And I started thinking, like, wow, like he's saying a lot of things in here that I feel in Canada 30 years later, right? Like, what's this all about, right? So I think that we really need to evaluate ourselves and gain power about who we are and who we want to be, and what type of legacy or what type of impact that we want to have in our lives, right? Yeah.
You mentioned the word legacy, and your posters are called legacy posters.
Yeah.
Right? So how did you come up with that name, legacy?
Well, I came up with that name. I was called way back in the day. I was calling the poster the official Black History Month poster, right? And I laugh about now because that name is way too long. And I might as well have been jumping out with a Superman cape calling it that, right? But at the time, I was juiced off of Louis Farrakhan tapes when I was 25, right? So I was kind of saying, I'm just going to call this poster whatever I want to, and I'll call it the official Black History Month poster, because at the time, there's no other poster out there.
Right.
So it still is. It still is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not because no one else tried, because I took them out. I'll just say, especially this white guy that told me, if you don't do your poster my way, I'll just get another Black guy to do it. And once again, being juiced off of Louis Farrakhan tapes at the time, I said, "Oh, bring it, guy!" Right? Yeah. So I spent because I think that when he said that to me, that he was thinking that I was going to react and be all despondent and like, oh, geez, he threatened me, right? But it actually caused the opposite reaction. Like, it really me decide to up my game. Like, he told me that he threatened me with that like a year before, and I forgot totally about it. And then in February of 1998, okay, so it was in January. And then all of a sudden, he found his Black guy, right? And he was pushing the young Black guy in front and saying, "Oh, this is this young artist, and wouldn't you help him and stuff?" And kind of taking jabs at me, type of thing. Oh, Robert's an older guy. Why does he need your help? This is a young, cute black teenager. Wouldn't you help him? And I'm the honorable white guy that's helping him. So I was like pissed. Okay. Right. I said, I don't care how cute that brother is. Like, he has to learn, right? So, needless to say, I bent over backwards selling my poster that year, because the one thing that made me panic was, at the time I was doing it in black and white, and there you were in color. So I was going, oh my God! Like, if people, like, the artistic style was just as good, but I knew that people would buy theirs because it was in color. Mm-hmm. So that year I went around to every school board, folding them up on the same day, getting them to buy my poster before theirs, right? Mm. So by the time that they decided to phone people, it was already February 1st, but I sold it to everybody they would go to, right?
Great marketing strategy.
Yeah. So then after that, it was on for like about 3 or 4 years. And I changed it to Legacy because I decided that I had to grow up. And I was kind of keeping that name just because people were I was used to it. Mm-hmm. But then I decided to myself that, no, Robert, you know what you're doing? You're actually because there's about 3 or 4 posters out every year, right? And I said, Robert, you're actually keeping these posters alive by calling it the official Black History Month poster, because when you go on TV, when you do interviews, no one is expecting that the official Black History Month poster is being made by a guy in his mother's basement. Right? They're thinking that's being made by the city, that's being made by the Ontario Black History Society, that's being made in the city of Toronto. And they were phoning those places looking for my poster, So I said, you know what, show these people that they ain't nothing without you, right? Mm-hmm. And just call it Legacy. And that way people would look for me. They wouldn't look for an abstract person, entity, right? So within 2 years, all those posters disappeared, and I barely see any erupt. And there's so many different. And the thing is, there's so many different ideas in the Black community that we can flourish, So even though I create a poster, if I were to think of an idea right now, I obviously wouldn't think of a poster, right? Due to the technological advancement. I know that people buy my posters for various reasons. I know it's still useful in the schools, but there's so many different ideas that be out there, whether it be a Zoom conference on Black History Month from February 1st to February 3rd annually every year. It could be there'd be a Black Business Day during February, a Black Hair Salon Day where you gather you have a competition with the top hair salons in Toronto. Right. One person gets awarded. That would a barber competition during Black History Month. There's so many different ideas that if I clone myself, I would do 5 of them right now. Because definitely, and the salon idea and the barbershop idea that I just thought of just now, that would kill it, right?
So you have great ideas. I mean, and I want to also commend you for all the work that you've done thus far, and also partnering with, I believe it was TD Bank and BMO Bank to get your posters up there. What are your plans for the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, and you see, this is my plug for my corporate masters, right? I'm partially joking, right? Please, master, don't do it, right? But no, I'm joking. But with respect to TD Bank and BMO especially, BMO's been great for this year, as well as 3 years in advance, that they're putting my poster in every branch of the Bank of Montreal for the next 3 years. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm trying to get TD to do the same thing. I'm approaching RBC, Scotiabank, and some other entities to do the same thing. I'm asking my Black people that work there to help me out, as well, right? And don't feel like there's some overthrow of the government happening. So needless to say, there's a lot of things that I'm working towards for the following years that I'm excited about. And I actually created an app for Black History Month. I've already finished it pretty much, but I'm going over it right now, and I'm going to launch it strongly in February. It's called Afrotastic, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so that's what's launching me into the future, right? So
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
So, Robert, where could people go to see your work? Like, if they wanted to see any of your stuff.
Yeah, they can follow me on Instagram. You just put in my name, Robert Small, and there you go. And all the information's there. And if they can go on my website, the legacycollection.com with an X, as it appears right there, or give me a call, and I'll point them in the right direction. And I would definitely appreciate all the support.
Nice.
Thank you. Great stuff. Continue doing all the great work that you're doing. I'm looking out for that app. I mean, I'm not so great with technology, but I'll be trying to navigate my way through that app whenever.
Yeah, and and just to end it off, like that, and that's important because unfortunately, there's two issues affecting the Black community now. There's a technological gap because oftentimes many of the programs that we have and initiatives that occur cater to the Black middle class, and it doesn't really affect the lower echelons of our community that are financially impoverished, right? So by the time you do all these initiatives and you give out scholarships to these kids and they grit teeth on stage, right? Those are not, half the time they're not the kids that need the help, right? So consequently, that's why with my poster, like I created in a way that yes, the school buys it because they have the money, but the Black youth who don't have the money will still see it, right? And with respect to technology, there's a technological gap in the Black community. But in addition to that, we're not as aware of how technology is advancing so drastically. Like I even had to tell a friend of mine yesterday who was thinking about changing jobs, and he was kind of hesitant to do it because he's all in his 50s and he thinks time is not on his side. I go, like time is on your side if you use it properly, because in cybersecurity, they're throwing money at people to get into that field, right? So you might be earning like $70,000 or $80,000 or even less at your job now, but you can be earning double that if you change careers within 2 years, right? And asking for your own price 3 years from now, right? So we really have to, and so that's why I felt compelled to create this app, to build awareness in the Black community to, one, become more technologically savvy, as well as to increase their awareness of Black history.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Wow, lots to learn, lots to soak in with you, Robert Small. I mean, there's so much more.
You put me in that intro the next time I log on to your show.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Robert, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your time with us. Follow the website. We have his handles. Nike will put it up in a minute.
He showed. There they are.
Exactly. And they're increasing the volume of my face to get that point across.
Right,
Yeah, there's nothing like a Black man staring at you deep in your face to get you to buy stuff off of his website.
Right.
Yes, and he's probably going to add a comedy segment to his app. So
yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have some fun.
Be locked in.
Stuff, right?
What happens when two Black guys wearing green walk into a bar, right? Exactly. You can just fill in the blank, Jewel. Okay, so I'll tune in next week to see I'll tune in next week to see what she makes up. Okay.
Thank you. I haven't thought of the answer
for the audience. Who could make up the funniest punchline to that introduction? Two black guys wearing green walk into a bar.
I can imagine how the wheels, how they turn in your head when you're actually coming up with an idea for a poster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So creative. So creative.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. But thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Nice.
We'll stay in contact.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, that was he's funny.
Yes. Yes. Very engaging, Mr.
Yeah.
Small.
So that was our first guest for the evening. Of course, go ahead and support the vibe, and of course, yeah, we're keeping it. I guess we're keeping it pro black. You know, dissecting the thing this evening, man.
All right.
we're going to the hairline now, right? So we go from
The
painting our people,
roots.
and showing our beautiful features as our people, and now we're going into the hair of our people, right? So I'm hoping our next guest is ready. Um, Most of you guys know her by the name of Jodie Dublin. Um, let's just bring it to the let's just bring it to the screen for the second time on Dissect. Welcome, Jodie. Her screen is there. She's
Jaydees
not there. So I'm
Naturals.
not the only one who's having camera issues. Okay,
Ah, there she
there
is.
she is.
Hi,
What's
Hi,
Jody.
going on?
hi. Hi, everyone. How you all
Welcome to
Oh,
the
doing?
show. Welcome back, I should say.
Thank
I
you. You
yes,
I
too.
yes.
wasn't here the last time, but yeah, welcome back.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
let me tell you what. The last time it was one of our most entertaining shows was with
yeah.
Jody.
It was fun.
It was fun,
Time
and
flew by.
yeah, and you know what cracked me up, Joe, when you sent a picture for me I don't know if you remember the picture you sent for me at the
Yes.
end. I was like, "Are you?" I'm like, "This girl is real. This girl is real, real, real." So, welcome back, man. How was everything?
Good. Everything's going good.
So I see.
Yeah.
So
Busy
I
as
see.
usual. It's a good busy. You know, when you enjoy what you're doing,
Right,
it's a hustle, but you enjoy it. So
right.
it's no
Yeah.
stress.
I see a lot of good. What was
Yeah.
I watching? There was a poster where you hit over a million followers or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you do
So I
good, man.
rose to celebrity status like quickly. Like people like little Chen will be on the road and like, Mommy, look the TikTok girl.
Wow, that is
I'm
nice.
so crazy.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, you have new products out
Yeah.
on your line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't even know where to start because the ending in last
When
season,
was the show? It was in 2020, was it?
it was, what are we in 2022? So yeah,
Yeah.
2020. Yeah,
20, yeah.
20, no, 2021. That's it.
2021. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's it. It was around it was the ending of the season actually. I
Oh,
think it was the
yes.
last
Yes. I
show.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the last show. So it's
Yeah.
almost like our anniversary now because this
Yeah.
is two shows before the last show.
All right. Okay.
So
Nice.
we only got two more shows till next season. But yeah, so some of the new products
Yeah, so
you
we
introduced.
have our Zuti oil.
Mm,
So Zuti is like stinging nettle. So it was kind of a challenge to launch that product because we all know Zuti and Dominica stinging
right,
nettle to itch. So I had to educate, my customers on the fact that when it's dry, it doesn't itch anymore. So
right,
yeah, so I have a herbal oil with a lot of different oils, a lot of local powders, turmeric, garlic, ginger in there. So it's sort of a growth elixir to stimulate growth.
right,
And then I do a conditioner with hibiscus and sorrel. You know
mm,
that sorrel
Oh,
is our favorite Christmas drink in the Caribbean.
right,
And then I had some competitions that I entered. So post the show, I won the National Development Foundation of Dominica,
mm-hmm,
NDFD. They launched a green summit, and they invited small businesses to pitch ideas like green ideas. And so I
right,
won that. And the
nice.
idea that I pitched was shampoo bars. So actually, like while Mr. Small was going on, someone messaged me. So I gave a few of my close customers the samples of the shampoo bars to try. So
right,
she was just sending me a review of it. So
nice,
it looks like a lot of people love it.
Mhm.
So why I came out with those things, I'm trying to get away from packaging. So, and
Mhm.
plastics, most importantly.
okay,
So I'm trying to go plastic free. and trying to create products that doesn't use packaging at all. So
Right.
Okay.
shampoo bars, you can also have lotion in solid form. You can
Mhm.
have conditioners in solid form. You can have massage oils in solid form. So I
Mm.
thought that maybe I should steer in that direction because I want my business to be as sustainable as possible and
For sure.
not contribute to, climate change, etc.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Right.
that was my thing. Yeah. So I won like from the last show, I won a lot of stuff.
So we
Like
see.
in 2021 was definitely my year. So after winning that NDFD Green Summit, I placed third out of 750 regional participants in the OECS Green Idea Pitch. So it was something similar to what the NDFD had. And then I was invited to be the keynote speaker at the Global Green Growth Institute project launch. So they were doing
Right.
like an incubator launch for businesses. And just recently, I won a micro pitch Caribbean. I was the overall winner. I got the best entrepreneur award, and I also got a social media award because I all up on social media.
Yep.
Yes.
That's my thing. Yeah. So it has been a good couple of years. Yeah, so far. Yeah.
Nice.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank
Sounds like
you.
you're doing big things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I want to ask, you mentioned the Zuti oil, and
Yeah.
you said it is a local herb that you use
Yeah.
in your oil. Do you normally use local raw ingredients? Are you sourcing them,
Yes.
trying to source them
Yes.
mainly locally?
So, for instance, like my colors, the colors that I tend to use natural stuff alone. So I would use turmeric. I usually do infusions of turmeric in my oils, and that's what I
Mhm.
use to color. And the color is so beautiful. It's like this shocking color,
Yes,
yellow. So
Right.
yeah, I use a lot of local stuff as much as possible,
okay.
and to do a lot of research because, like, especially here in Dominica, we know, like, from indigenous knowledge from our grandparents,
Hmm.
we know what they're good for. But in terms of digging deep into the science of it, like the dosage, because you can overdose on herbs, right?
Right.
Right.
So we know what it's good for, but in terms of the dosage and those sort of things, yeah. So I really want to go into that as well to kind of do some research on the different herbs and what they're good for and
Mhm.
get some scientific backing on them. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So since we're gonna with on the Zuti oil,
Mhm.
I could use that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So it's
Can
nice.
you
Everyone can.
explain? Can you explain for those of us? Because I mean, we don't
Yeah, yeah.
all know what the Zuti is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zuti is just, I guess it's a patois name, the Creole name for
Mm-hmm.
stinging nettle. So stinging nettle is like, it's a good herb because I think it has a very high sulfur content, which is very good for stimulating hair growth.
Right.
So you would see that most of the natural products now for hair would have some sort of stinging nettle extract, etc. So I said, we have so much stinging nettle here. Why don't I just use it?
Mm-hmm.
So my customers have been bringing stinging nettle for me. I have farmers drying it, growing it, and then they bring
Right.
it to me, and then I infuse it into the oil and use it in my different products.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
This
Yeah,
is
the last time you were here, we were talking about the growth of the company and how you
yeah,
were looking to possibly hiring people. You
yeah,
you mentioned farmers growing for you. Is
yeah.
that did you actually make that step yet or
Yeah, yeah. So actually, for the zuti, for sure, they actually grow the herb and dry it for me.
oh,
Rosemary, I use a lot of rosemary too in my products. So the farmers dry and grow. So I have it ready. I don't have to think about growing it myself.
nice.
Yeah, so I've done that. So since we talked, I've built my manufacturing lab.
Hmm.
It's almost ready, just a few little touches here and there, and then I will start hiring. So I've procured all my equipment, etc. And yeah, maybe by the end of the year, I should get going with hiring some people to work. Yeah,
This is good.
yeah, yeah.
exciting. Mhm.
I gotta get that Zutio. The reason I asked, my sister asked me what do I want from Dominica.
Ah,
So yeah, I need a little natural.
When your sister's sending it for you, make sure she has one for you.
Let me let me text her right now too.
yeah,
Yeah, and I will be going up on your website as well to check it
yeah.
out. I was telling, well, Navi knows what I do as well.
Mhm,
This topic is very near and dear to my heart because I
mhm.
also do my own natural stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about mine, but I do want to talk later about some things that we can
No
grab
problem.
on. Yeah. So why did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Ah,
Or how did you make
it was for personal reasons because it didn't really start off as a business for me.
Mhm.
Um, like my profession, day-to-day profession, I'm an engineer and I used to work on
Mhm.
the field a lot.
Okay.
And my hair would just get grimy from all the dirt. And I had relaxed hair at the time.
Mhm.
And I just couldn't take care of it. It was breaking. I had to be washing it all the time. And then I remember one day just getting up, waking up on one morning and taking a scissors, pair of scissors and chopping my hair off. And then I'm like, Jodie, what did you do?
Yeah.
Because the last time I had natural hair, like back then, like we didn't really know how to take care of our hair. Like
Yes. Yeah.
most of the products were catered to the Caucasian type of.
Mhm.
So we just knew wash our hair, grease it, and plait it and comb it. That was all we knew. But we didn't really know the intricate details of how, Afro hair grows. And my hair is really kinky. It looks nice, but there's a lot of work that goes on to make it look like this. And
Mhm.
so I had to really learn for myself what products work best for our hair type,
Mhm.
really hone in on like how our hair grows, why it grows that way, and how to take care of hair that grows that way and looks that way and feels that way. So it was a learning experience for me, and it was just for me for my personal use. And then when I started making my whip shea butter, my friends wanted in, so I gave to them, they gave to their friends, and then it just developed into a business. So that's how it started, really. I think I always have a knack for doing things with my hands. So I've done
Mhm.
like handmade decor, handmade necklaces. I've done earrings, like with the traditional madras cloth. So I've always been working with my hands. I love creating stuff. So it wasn't a new thing to me. It came naturally, and I said, why not make some money out of it?
For sure.
So yeah, that's how it started. That's how it started.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and these are earrings
I
from.
was gonna ask you that.
Yes.
So
What
you make
material is that you use for that?
So I had done like when COVID had just come about,
Yeah.
I was really bored. So I did some hair tutorials, and a lot of people were asking about the earrings. So it is actually made from it's like a reed that the Kalinago, the indigenous people here, use, and all the colors are natural. So like the brown color, they use mud
I
to
love it.
color it. The green and the reds, they use like leaf and plant extract. So it's a line that I'm coming out with, an eco-conscious jewelry line. So its carbon footprint is zero because there's no electricity, no nothing used in producing them. So, and they're very light and cute. So, so I decided. I mean, a lot of people were asking for them, so I'm actually going to put it on the site to have them available for international purchase. And it's something to help the Kalinago people as well. It's a source of income for them.
Right.
So yeah, yeah,
nice.
Definitely getting a pair of those.
yeah, man.
She's into everything. She's
I
into
want everything. I do.
Yeah, it just comes to me. It just comes to me. Like today, I was just passing. I'm in town, and there's a guy who does this really cute leather braces. I'm like, seeing that I already have a platform online, I could just maybe try and get his stuff. So he engraves your name. He engraves different things that
Okay.
and a lot of people, especially Dominicans, usually buy these things. So I'm like, I might approach him to get his stuff, out there too. So it's a love of country and love of my people thing.
Yeah,
So it comes naturally. I'm always trying to look for ways, to bring people up, because I say when you're getting up there in business, you have to try and rope people in and bring them up and encourage them. So
of course. That's what builds your legacy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was in Dominica for like 2 seconds last year.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah, and the
Accept
few
my sympathies.
thank you.
Yeah.
The few stores that I did get to visit, I'm talking like supermarkets.
Right.
I saw your products in some of
Yeah.
them. So is your stuff is it all island wide,
Yeah,
like every store?
most of the big stores like Fresh Market, the
Right.
pharmacies, yeah, most of them are. And then we also have like Shop DM, which is an online store in Dominica. So you can buy online from them and then they deliver to you. So
Okay.
it's there as well. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So even though the website is not on, I have had sales. I have no idea how they reach on the website because I have not launched it. I have not launched it, but I guess now people will be seeing it.
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, you know how people do. Once one person knows, and it goes out there,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's
right?
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
And there's
That's
always somebody that wants to spread the word.
Yeah.
And as long as it's a great product,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
yes, they will speak. Word of
Yeah.
mouth is like one of the best ways of
Mhm.
marketing, right?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So, for instance, like the Zuti oil, like I originally made it for hair. It was just a hair growth oil.
Right.
But then, come to find out, while I'm researching Zuti, I'm calling it Zuti stinging nettle.
Right.
It's also good for rheumatism and arthritis. So my mom, she said she just washed her hair and she was passing the oil, and she had like extra. So she said like she has a bad knee. So she said like she would just pass it on her body, and she's like she went to sleep and she got up and the knee was like the pain had subsided a bit. She was like, let
Oh,
me try
wow.
the Zuti oil a little bit more. And lo and behold, so
Right.
I'm now promoting it
So
for use, if you have joint pain and
yeah,
Yeah.
so some of the products have double use, they have different
nice.
uses from what I intended for them.
So
For like the turmeric mask too. It was originally a face mask. I even had to change labels because people use it for under the arms. They said that when they use it under the arms, it gets lighter, so it really fades dark marks.
Like marks.
Their legs.
oh,
So
all right.
carnival, it was all the rage because people wanted, clean legs.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so now I had to change it to a body mask because people
Right.
use it all over. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Hmm,
yeah.
interesting.
That is
Yeah.
That was a similar
that
journey
is
that
amazing.
I had.
That is amazing, but crazy at the same time. Like
Yeah.
something is made for one thing, and I'm just gonna use it for this. And
Yeah.
that's
So true. That's what you get with natural products, right? It's so
Right.
natural. It comes from the
Yes,
earth.
yes.
It's natural healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Facts.
Wow.
So my
Yeah.
sister was trying to call me because I told her I want Zuti oil. And now that you said arthritis, like I really need that Zuti.
Yeah, it's good for joint aches. Yeah,
Nice. Because man, up here our joints be killing.
the
Cold is
cold. I know. Yeah.
Cold.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I definitely need that. Uh, sorry.
I have a question. Like, how have you? So you mentioned that you have your like your office, not office, but your what is it?
Like a
Factory,
lab. Yeah.
your lab set up already. Have you had any challenges along the way, setting that up? What is it? How's it been for
I
you?
think it's just getting stuff into Dominica. You have to wait a little while, and maybe finance a bit of that too because like customs duties are really high. So especially for my raw material, I mean, you pay about 40% of the cost plus the freight
Oh boy.
and duties. So I mean that can be challenging, especially you don't want the products too overpriced that people, don't
Right.
want to
Can't
buy.
afford that.
Yeah, but and that is the thing that I found, that people love the product so much that they are willing to pay whatever price,
Right.
because that's maybe one of the reasons why I was sort of holding back on launching a website, because our post office is closed and we only
Okay.
have the option of FedEx and DHL, which are very expensive to
Mm-hmm.
ship, especially like retail shipping.
Right.
And so I was like, I can't let people pay all that just to ship one product. So this lady was like, no, I don't care what the price is. She paid like 300 EC. That's what, let's say, about 100 US for
Right.
four products, just the shipping cost.
Right.
So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, if people are willing to
Right.
pay that,
Yeah.
then I might as well put
But
it out there. But I'm
Yeah.
hoping eventually that the post office will be open so that I can give it to them at a much cheaper price
right.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
shipping costs are exorbitant.
well, everything is going up around us, right? So
Yeah,
you can,
yeah.
it
Mm.
kind of, and if it works, well, it have to work for somebody to actually want to pay $100 just for
Yes.
the
I was like,
shipping,
you
right?
sure? You sure I don't do it until somebody's going up or something? I could give it them.
Right.
I want my products right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And customers are willing to pay when they know it is a good
Yeah,
product.
it's
I
worth
find
it.
that our population, our demographic of people, we love to shop, and we love to shop, and we love to support our people as well.
Yes.
So if it's something that we know is made by us for us, we
Mm-hmm,
definitely
mm-hmm.
will spend that money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, Dominicans have been really supportive, especially those in the diaspora. They seek out my products. If someone is coming home, they will make sure you contact Jodie to get.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm very grateful for that. I mean, we always rally in sports and everything. Dominicans are known to just go all out. They were loyal like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just recently, one of our sportswoman, Trinice Hamilton,
I see
she,
that. Yes.
yeah, she got a gold, and so I said I just have to give her something. So
Right.
I presented her with a nice little package. Yeah, so that
Nice.
was nice,
Good.
nice.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, very nice young girl. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I noticed. The diasporas, they do support a lot of
Yeah,
the local stuff,
yeah,
which is good. And I hope well, for local people it might be a little bit harder, right? But I hope that
yeah,
they're also doing that, because in return you actually turn around and employ people
yeah.
to do this. So you're doing good things, man. Earrings.
Thank
You still,
you.
you still got the clothing thing, right?
Yes, I do. I do actually. Yes.
Anything
So we have the
anything new
belt.
coming that way?
I haven't had anything yet, no, but maybe in the near future I'll look at some more items to
Right.
add on there. Yeah,
Yeah, Julia, you have to
yeah,
check out her website
I
before
yeah,
did.
we get off. Like just the logo of the clothing line that I'm talking, it's like
yeah,
it's mostly for women. I want to put it
yeah,
that way.
yeah,
But this the logo, it's just so.
I did check out your clothing line,
Oh,
yeah,
you saw
or
it.
your website. I did, and there's lots happening.
yeah.
You said it wasn't launched, but I was able to navigate through it.
Oh, the website, the jaydeesnaturals.com is just for the hair products and skin products.
Okay.
Right.
But I have Belle Femme Dominic, which
Then,
is, well, Bell Moon Dominic. So
Right.
I've added the Bell Book Dominic.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can get stuff for men there as well.
All
okay.
right. Father's Day, we're not dog again.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
So
Wow.
what else? Apart from the Zooty oil, is there any other new products as far as the hairline goes, or
Well, so I've started doing household products. So I have a hand sanitizer that doubles as like a room spray, linen spray.
wow,
So it smells really nice. So there are a lot of essential oils, and there's also like humectants in there so that your hand doesn't feel dry. So even if you do sanitize with it, your hand
it
still
remains
feels
moist?
moist after. afterwards. Yes, so I've come up with that one as well. So those are the new products in the line.
Very
And,
nice.
and these are on the shelves already.
Yeah, well, not the spray. No, spray can get directly from me, so people order directly from me.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I will be coming out with so I have done like because I'm doing my advanced diploma in organic formulation. I am also doing a course in organic anti-aging creams
Mm,
and serums. So soon I will be launching my, well, I call it high end
right.
natural products. So I'll be doing face serums and serums for anti-aging as well. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you call it high end?
Well, because of like, I guess the ingredients, they call it high-end ingredients. So you have
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, it's just like really expensive botanicals that I
Right.
make. So yeah,
Mhm.
they work really well. Really
Right.
well.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Um, I really need to get my hands on some of that. So yes, don't forget to tell your sister to pack some, and also I will be on the
Yes.
website. Whenever I can get my hands on that, I will definitely do a little post and send it off to you.
Sure.
So
Nice.
if you guys have any questions at all for Jodie, um, you guys could send us a voice note or text us at Jay, you so pick at these numbers at 617 329 9434. And yeah, we'll listen to your voice notes or take any messages you got.
Right. So where can we find your products again locally in Dominica? If you can name those stores.
So they're at Fresh Market, they're at Jolly's, Zeb Creole, Nature's Discount, S-Mart, Adams Family, Mam's Supermarket in Massac, and Minia's Supermarket in Canefield,
Okay.
and shopdm.store. I think I have all, yes.
And
And
you
most,
can also find her on all of her handles. She's on
Yes.
Facebook, Instagram. She has a link tree
TikTok.
that will take you to TikTok. Oh, and YouTube. YouTube is not on there.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Can we pause there for a few minutes and talk about YouTube?
Sure.
until we do what?
YouTube.
YouTube.
She's
Oh,
on YouTube. She's YouTube famous.
Yes.
Not only TikTok famous, but YouTube famous.
Yes.
So I looked at a lot of the hairstyles that you were doing, and I'm
Mm.
like, "Oh, I have so much hair. I just want to put my hair up in a bun just like Jodie." So I don't know if it's gonna. I have locks, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I know some of them will work for sure,
Yeah.
very easily. But your tutorials are very. They're not complex. They're very easy
Right.
to follow. I love them. But I wanted to get into a little bit of controversy that happened
Yeah.
with one of your YouTube.
mhm.
Yeah, you were like targeted. You were targeted.
So,
Was it a racist comment?
um, very many. Yeah, like
Many.
a lot.
Very many.
Very many. Yes, that's how much they were.
Okay.
Wow.
So this video was so YouTube has the shorts, right?
Mhm.
You have the normal long videos, and then I will sort of edit them and fast forward them to make like a 1 minute, because people don't have time to be watching those long 5 minute videos, right?
Right.
So I guess they've followed the TikTok trend and have like shorts, which is a minute or less.
Mhm.
So I would take my long video and make it into a short.
Right.
So this video was only like 59 seconds long. There was no talking. I uttered no words. I was just combing my hair.
Right.
And it was just a simple hairstyle, up in one and with some plaits, but there was a hack. So like my hair is very thick, but others who have really thin hair, I showed them like what they can do to make their hair look like mine.
Right.
So that was what
The
it
little
was.
thing sponge inside.
Yeah, so like you'd make a bun like this inside,
Right.
and there'll be hair out, and then you just plait it and tuck it in. So that was a hairstyle. And it was a hair tutorial video. And this girl just went. So besides her comment, there were a lot of other like really disgusting comments
Mm-hmm.
about black people and black people's hair and how we smell and yeah. So I
Like
really don't
roses, our hair smells like
Yeah, I
roses.
know,
And
right?
all that good stuff that we put
like
into it.
hibiscus, even
Coconut oil,
coconuts.
yes.
Thank you.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we
Yeah.
bathe 3 times a day, so I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway,
Girls over there.
so,
Yes.
and then this girl was on this long. So from the time I saw the length of the thing, I'm like, I'm really thinking, but this girl like really loved the video
Time. She
until
had
I
time.
started reading, and she just went on about Obama and about Trump and
What?
how your black people put Biden there. And so it all stemmed from this girl's comment where she said, girl, I'm going to take notes from you because there's nothing you can't learn from a melanated queen.
Right.
So that was the comment from another girl. And then this white girl came up on her post and she just went off. She's like that. This is why black men leave you all, because how can I take advice from a girl who looks like her hair? Like she has stuck her fingers in an electric socket or some sort of thing, like, because my hair stands up. My
Yeah.
hair doesn't fall.
Right.
Because it's very thick, it just stays like this, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even bother to answer because
Oh,
obviously
absolutely not.
that's ignorance to the highest level. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to entertain her
Yeah.
at
I
all.
think you answering would more hurt yourself than anybody else.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I'm like, what? But the
But
others came for under the post, so I didn't even have to say anything.
Right. Wow.
she saw it, she viewed it, and her,
Yeah,
still came through, and
yeah.
however she took it is the way she took it, and I'm sure
Like
she.
if you don't like something, just pass it straight. There are a lot of videos I see. Like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna comment on it. I'll just pass it straight. And so
Yeah.
Not everybody has self-control, right?
yeah, yeah.
And,
And I
and
got a lot of different comments like, "Do you use your hair to wash your plates?" And that looks, and from black people too.
oh wow.
Oh, your hair looks like steel wood. Go wash your hair.
You
Like
know what?
all sorts of
Yeah.
different
Every one of those comments, I hope you're taking them and you're using that as fuel, and
Yes.
you know what? You're doing amazing. You're doing an amazing
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
and definitely you're
Well,
blessed.
you know what you could tell them?
Uh-huh.
People are willing to pay $100 just to ship my product. Okay, I have millions of people that's paying
Yeah.
attention to me.
I know. Yeah.
But you know what? That means you're doing very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the fact that people go out of their way, like
Yes.
pass you straight and reverse just to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like the saying goes here, you don't throw stones at Bobori Mango. So
There you go. Exactly. I like that.
so yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, just well,
Keep up the good work, Jodie.
yeah. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I love your videos. You're
Mhm.
very animated. You have a great personality. I can
Thank
tell.
you.
I've never met you in person,
Yeah.
but just from your videos, I feel the energy. I feel a connection. You've definitely reached your viewers through your videos, and I mean, keep doing what you're doing because
Thank you.
I think the personality is what sells the product as well.
Yes.
They want to know,
Yes.
hey, this person who makes this, what kind of energy do they have behind them, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
And you know what's surprising? Like, because I guess like YouTube is like a wide platform, so I'm trying to speak like proper English. But I know which videos do well when I speak my raw Dominican accent.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like that video, I was like, you know what? I just don't have energy to put on this. I'm like just gonna talk normally.
Right.
And that's the authenticity behind it, right?
Yes,
That's the
yes.
the authenticity.
Yeah.
behind it.
People
Yeah.
see the real side of you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. That's a good thing.
It's not an American trying to be an island girl, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the accent is real. It's not buy my product, man.
Yes.
It's none of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Natural.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, anything else we're looking forward to besides the beautiful earrings that you're wearing, besides the clothing line?
So
Besides,
next week you all will see something. I'm not gonna put it out now, but okay, I just will say it. I'm gonna get an award. I won't say
Ooh,
what, so you all will
okay.
see
nice.
by Thursday next week.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening Thursday next week. Yeah,
Well,
so
congratulations in
you'll see more
advance.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and congratulate her in advance. That's how things are done in Dissect, you know.
Yeah,
You get the
yeah,
information first. This is good. Congratulations.
This
yeah.
happens a lot on the show, right? So
Yeah.
we're lucky. We're the first to hear many of your
Yes, yes.
I think the name of the show, I just figure, it's Dissect, so I just let it out.
Mm,
dissect the secrets, dissect and secrets, or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
Well, it was nice again, and
Yes,
I hope next
always a
season I
pleasure.
hope next season we can do this again, and I know you'll have new products again.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Um, you know, I don't have to wish you luck. I just keep telling you, just keep saying, stay motivated.
yeah.
Um, those words that supposed to break you down, use
Mhm.
them as steps, and keep doing you do, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I
if you
endorse what he just said.
yeah. So, Nika, I don't know if you have any comments in the back. If not, then we'll give you the time to big up anybody, or give your handles and all that stuff so people can
Yeah,
follow you.
so I just want to thank like the entire Dominican population. I mean, they have really encouraged me, really rallied around me.
Right.
Um, and I think, well, my parents, obviously, like my biggest supporters, my parents, my husband. I mean, I love them dearly. I don't think I would have reached this far without them.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so my handles on YouTube, it's Jaydees Naturals. On TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm really not into Twitter, so
Okay.
I don't really have a presence on Twitter, but all the others, yes. So Jaydees Naturals, you can check them out. And I also have a link tree, so you could go to linktree slash Jaydees Naturals, and you'll see all my information there as well. Yeah.
I'm behind. Is that a new thing? Linktree? Is that what it was? It's like
Yes, so what it does is like you can collect all your information there. You can have your product catalog, you can have anything basically that you want to put in just in one spot. Your website. I
is
also have a donation page because I intend to put like solar, have the business powered by solar energy.
right.
So gearing up to get that going. So if anybody wants to donate to that cause, you can. So I have all that on my Linktree page, where you can buy my products, yeah, all that good stuff. So everything is there. So you can just go on Linktree and get to know all about Jaydees Naturals. Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, we have some people telling you congratulations
Oh
and telling you
yeah,
keep up
thank
your good
you.
work.
That's
And
my aunt in Canada, actually.
All
Dina,
right.
I see. Yeah,
okay,
that's my aunt.
nice.
Hi, auntie. Hi, Auntie Joy.
Canadian link, hey.
Right. Oh yeah. So you know what? Your aunt could be a Canadian
Yeah,
distributor.
yeah.
Hint, hint, hint.
You don't have to go far. Just giving anti work, right? Anyway.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
so we'll talk soon, and thank you for
sure.
joining us again.
It's always a pleasure. Anytime.
All right.
Nice meeting you, Jodie.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right.
Take
That's
care.
Miss Jody, man. Follow her on. Well, she said she doesn't have Twitter. Twitter's an American thing anyway. But yeah, follow on all social medias and support the vibes. Buy the product, natural stuff. I definitely gonna get a Zuti, or at least two of them, one for you and myself.
I just like the name, how it sounds, Zuti.
Yeah, like it. Well, the name, yeah, but you know what it is like. What the bush itself is, it's like what can I compare it to? Like almost like you remember Fireman Johnson when you were kids, you run around that you pass the close to it, it like scratches your skin.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It doesn't look like it, but same effect.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, what? Suti? I remember they made tea with that. I'm like, tea? That's probably gonna scratch my throat, right? And which it doesn't. So when she said that, I was like, I had to listen to, like, because I'm thinking like everybody else is gonna scratch my head like when I'm done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely support Jodie, support Mr. Robert Smalls as well, and thank you guys for joining us for another exciting episode of Dissect.
Yes.
We're winding down, Jay. We're winding down. We got 2 more to go.
2 more episodes. It went by so quickly. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess back to DJing for me. Yeah.
And I'll be in those parties whenever you're playing.
That's what's up. I don't think we have next week video lined up, but however, we do have next week guests lined up. So we'll see you guys right back here, 7 p.m. TDN TV, Islands Therapy, YouTube, or Facebook channels. Oh, this weekend interview on Wednesday at 8 p.m. will not be Anthony Drago. It'll be yours truly.
Ooh.
So you guys join me on TDN TV streams on Wednesday, 8 p.m. This weekend is in the interview, all right? I will see you guys Wednesday, and then I'll see you guys on Saturday. You guys have a blessed week and a blessed weekend, and we are out.
Take care.
Hey yo, this is your boy Wenty.
What's up, it's your girl Tasha P.
Boy Cool 10TN. Boy Shale, straight out of Signal.
I'm Hermina George.
Press Abia Yisrael.
This is Cornell Phillip.
This is Samantha Moon.
This is King Hunter.
This is Selena.
This is Sadiq from Connect 767.
Constant Maggie Peters. And I'm inviting you to Dissect.
Dissect program.
Dissect. On Dissect.
Where we're gonna be dissecting the music.
Dissecting Signal.
I will be on Dissect.
Dissecting the album controversy.
At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time
On Island Therapy.
TDN TV and Island Therapy.
Facebook and YouTube.
Saturday night at 7 p.m.
Check out Dissect on Island Therapy live.
Come on, let's dissect the thing, man.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m. on tdntv.net or Island Therapy Facebook or YouTube page. You do not want to miss this.
Shop them. Dissect.
See you there. Peace.
Come on.